Hey girls, it is my CEO squad. Excited that y'all are tuning in today, and we are going to catch up. We honestly haven't spoken in days. It's really crazy, so we will have a lot to catch up on. But we're so pumped that you're here. A few more weeks until the end of the year, going into 2023, which is wild to honestly think about. So yeah, we're excited that y'all are here with us, and I hope y'all take away a lot from this conversation. And we have a little special something for you soon too. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyways, yeah, let's get right into it.
Welcome to our podcast. Hey guys, my name is Olivia Hayward.
What's up? It's your girl, Courage Molina.
Oh, it's Amber Likens, and this is my CEO Squad. Before you leave our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload. In the comments, let us know where you're tuning in from, and we cannot wait to get to know you more. Let's go ahead and start this conversation. What happened? First of all, Olivia, didn't you have a party this weekend?
Oh, 2 days. Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I don't think Courage wants to talk about it. I think she's feeling a little salty about it.
Courage does not care.
But we do. I want to hear the highlights.
I do want to hear about it. Okay, I love y'all. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Well, it was my friend's birthday, my best friend, Kia. And so she had basically a weekend of birthday parties.
Like a wedding.
So like a wedding, yeah. She did her kids took her out on Thursday, Friday. We did a couples dinner at a restaurant, so that was fun. We have this little couple group that we are nurturing right now, so it's really fun times. And then we did a party at her home with everybody, couples, and then other friends that are single were, invited. So it was really fun. Me and Brittany, we were in charge of the games for the night, and Kia wanted to have games that tantalize all five senses. So we did something.
First of all, tantalize. That sounds like they needed prayer.
So we made up games for each section. And so it was super fun, super hilarious. I mean, it was very, very fun. And that's it. So yeah, that's what we did on Saturday night. And actually we got home by midnight, so that was pretty good. And it was really fun. We did a fish fry. They did oysters. I'm allergic to oysters. I didn't have any. So they did some grill on the grill. That was a fun experience. And then we did fried fish, like in this big old fryer. So that was fun.
Oh, I love a fish fry.
So I helped with that, and it was a potluck, so people brought stuff, and it was really good. It was really fun. We had a good time. I mean, when you leave with a laughing headache, you know it's a good time.
Yeah,
you do.
So yeah, it was like really, really fun. I think she really enjoyed it. I think that when she said what she wanted us to do, she had no idea that me and Brittany would come up with some of the things we came up with. So I think it was very shocking. I think we definitely got some shock value going on with our game. So it was fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, now I want to know, I don't know about the detail of the game, but would it be a game that could potentially be shared because other women might be like, now, how did y'all do this? I want to know about it. We want to do this at a friend's party or event or whatever. I think that would be kind of cool. Is it something y'all created or you found it?
Yeah, it's something we created. Basically, it was five senses, right? So it was like touch, smell, hear, taste. And so Amber, we've done this a lot of times on our show, the A&O show, where we do taste tests and everything like that. So took a little page out of our book when it comes to that, but we did wine tasting for the taste, so that was fun. We did for the hear, we basically took everybody that was attending the party, we took a voice memo of their voice and had them say something. Wow. And then I took the voices up, either a pitch up for the women and a pitch down for the men. And so during the party, basically, I did this really cool thing. I'll show you guys this too for the people that's watching. I made this little card that was for her birthday, and so they had to write down all of their answers.
First of all, let's just stop right there first. Let's just stop. If doing the most was a person, it's Olivia. Do you see this? Like, if y'all are not watching this YouTube, y'all need to go to the YouTube channel, My CEO Squad, so that y'all can see the extraness and y'all can understand why we're so angry that she's gone, because now we don't have that in our day-to-day life anymore. Because that right there is the absolute most.
I know.
Love it. I love it.
When I passed these cards out, Kia was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. No, it was really fun. It took me like 3 minutes to make this card. It's so funny. But yeah, I made this little card, and so they had to write all their answers down and not share their answers, and then we gave prizes, whoever got the most right. So we did smell, we had them smell different things, and then we did touch. I made some little figures out of clay, and they had to reach their hand in and tell me what they
Oh my God.
That was so cool. That is so crazy.
And then we did taste here and C. Oh, and then for the C, we actually had a picture of everyone's eye, and we had to figure out like eye it was.
What?
Yeah.
It's so okay. This really does take me back, because you think you know somebody. You think you know a feel, a smell. You're like, I would never miss that. But that right there, that close up of that eye, it looks completely different.
Yeah. First of all, like, didn't even know their own eye. I'm like, y'all sent me the picture. I didn't take the picture. You sent me the picture. And they're like, which one is my eye? I'm like, oh my God. The voices was hilarious because people didn't even know their own voice. And I only took their voices because if I obviously played their voice as they were, then we would easily figure it out. So I manipulated the voices a little bit so we could just have a little bit of a challenge in figuring out whose voice was it. So it was hilarious. People didn't know their own voices. Like some voices were very distinct, even though they were pitched up because people had accents, aka Junior. He has an accent, and so it was easy to tell his voice. So yeah, it was fun though. I mean, we laughed so hard.
I love it.
Like a lot of fun.
And I love it at 43 years old. You think as you're younger in your age, you're like, we have the most fun in our 20s and 30s at parties. But really, I think the older you get, I think the more creative you get. And I think that's when it's really fun, especially with people that you know. Yeah. You know, and like y'all all
and that people who like to have a good time, because you know a lot of people, but I don't want everybody ain't gonna make the list. You know, it's a very like fun group. They are a group that leans towards fun. You don't have to convince them to have fun. You just give them the opportunity and they're doing it. That's what I love. Now I know we're not gonna go off on this tangent, but I'm just tell you right here real quick, if you're listening, it is cool if you are like shy and you're quiet or whatever. But it is so important for you to develop a community with a group of friends that you can let loose with so that you can have a good time too. My whole desk just shook because the monster is here. You saw that? You saw that? I have a monster in my house, you guys. Big old pit bull. So ridiculous. Move the entire table. But you know, you want to have a community of people that you can really have a good time with. And people don't have to convince you to have a good time. That right there, I absolutely love that. Olivia and I were talking about that on my way to Amber's party because Amber and I partied this weekend too. Olivia's not the only one with her party card. Okay, we partied late too. It's pitch black when I got home. No, it definitely wasn't midnight, but it felt like midnight. Felt like midnight by the time I got home. But we talked about that, like, I really love being around people who like to have a good time and who lean into fun when fun is presented, not people you got to make have a good time. So I know y'all had fun because I know those people and they are all that way, like crazy. They want to have fun. I absolutely love it. Love it.
All right. I have to ask you a question. Now, I honestly feel like I should know the answer, but I don't. Did you get any footage, pictures, videos, anything of the night? Just a yes or no.
I personally didn't, but we did get some. Yes.
Okay. I have another question for you. Do you feel like because what you do for a living has to do with capturing footage, Do you feel like when you're at events like that, especially hosting it, that you're so like removed from that you're
I did not even take my phone. Listen, my phone was in the car the whole time until it was time to play the game with the sound, because the sound was on my phone, so I needed to get that. But literally, I read your post from YouTube when you put that, and I was like, I felt that was the same night I came home. I felt the same exact way, because I literally did not take one photo, did not have my camera out, didn't do any of that. My phone wasn't even in the house for a good part of the night. Just because, I was hosting, I was cooking, I was hosting, then I was doing the game. So,
that's crazy.
Very hard to capture.
When we had the party at the house, the retirement party for Alan's parents, and we hired Emily to come in and do the pictures and stuff, I thought that was the best decision we ever made after the fact, because there's no way we could have captured that. So the same for like doing Kia's party. It's like, man, we should have like had somebody go like, can you please capture the moment, right? And we should have done that for the boys' party. Moving on, I'm going to, because I actually have no footage from this year's birthday party for them, which is kind of sad, because as their kids, I'd be like, oh yeah, your 9th and 7th birthday, guys. I have no pictures of it, but it was a great time. I just think that's kind of lame. Other people might have pictures. I don't know, but I also like to be in the space. I don't want to be distracted. Yeah.
No, I think it's very important to have someone like in charge of that part of it, especially when you are hosting an event, but you're the normal person that would do it. Then it's like very important to be like, okay, somebody has to take over their photos. And we did, we did get some, but we were definitely in the moment of the night. So
I love that. I'm glad y'all had fun.
I know.
Courage is definitely feeling super salty. Every single time I feel like we have a conversation about birthdays or celebration or whatever, she's like eye rolling. She is not feeling it. Courage's birthday is also in December. Yes. Olivia's not here. So since Olivia's not here, Courage feels like everybody has abandoned her birthday. But meanwhile, she wants to celebrate every single day, which I'm here for it. She's like, it's December 1st, guys. What's happening this month? We're like,
and for the record, I don't need nobody to celebrate with me. Like, that's just the realest thing. So I have already started my celebration. Somebody feels away. They like, we not celebrate. Okay, well, don't celebrate me, girl. I'm a party by myself. Okay. I had a karaoke day in here by myself, and that thing was good. It lasted a full 2 hours. I would not lie to you. Girl, I had that playlist. First, I kept saying, I'm about to stop. But I sound so good and I feel so good and I move my mirror. No. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, because I drank my throat coat tea to prepare. I'm a performer. Okay, I don't just sing karaoke as a hobby. And I did that. I went out a couple of times for like meals or whatever, celebrated with some meals. I took myself out. I did a little shopping. So I have definitely been celebrating my birthday all month long. I am a tad bit annoyed. I'm like, Olivia's really not going to be here. This is very strange. And I'm like, I can't be too mad, because I guess this is how Kia felt when she had you all those years. And then you came in, she's probably like, so Olivia's really not going to be here for my birthday. It's very annoying. You know what I'm saying?
Now she's like, now after this birthday, she'll be like, oh, this is what I've been missing.
Yep, that's exactly it.
No, I love a birthday celebration. Like, I love it when people celebrate their birthday. I absolutely love it. Kids' birthdays, whatever. I love a birthday celebration. And, there was a time where I just wasn't that way. Do you know what I mean? But so much has changed in my life. I have grown so much as a person. I just feel like life is so short, man. Like, any excuse to celebrate, I am here for it. Okay. It's your birthday. It's a very merry unbirthday. It's your unbirthday. Let's celebrate that too. Like, I'm here for it. Shout out to Alice in Wonderland.
I love it. Well, I'm glad y'all had a good weekend. It was a good time. What else did you do, Courage, though? I know you came to my house, but any other highlights?
Did. So I have a young cousin who lives here. She's 19. She's 19. She's 20. I don't know how old this girl is, but I didn't realize that she lived here. She's young and she just celebrated a birthday on the 9th. And so I picked her up at her school and we actually were trying to do Sunday brunch. Ain't nobody got time. I'm telling you, I'm not committed to a Sunday brunch. I'm committed to eating. That is the only commitment I have. I'm not committed to like a super cutesy, not unless my name is on like some type of celebrity list. I picked her up. I put her name on the list. She lives like near the stadium. So I picked her up. Okay. I put her name on the list. We drove 30 minutes. We waited 15. We went to the mall. I picked her up from uptown, drove to South Park Mall, went to the mall, bought things from Bath and Body Works, got in the car, drove to the restaurant. And when we got there, parked at a garage, walked to the restaurant. And when we got there, even though I put our name on the list, when I picked her up, they were like, we got like 25, 30 minutes. Wait. I was like, oh, the devil is a liar and the truth is not in him. I can't do it. I was like, well, we can just go sit in the car. There are people all over the place. It's the middle of the day. It's like 12 o'clock. This is prime time Sunday brunch, right? Mm-hmm. So I looked at my other favorite restaurant and they had an hour wait as well. So I was like, bump this. So do you know what we did? We're going to go back to the car. We got to the car and then I could see into the window of the hotel where we had the retreat.
Oh,
there was a restaurant. It was empty. I was like, well, maybe they're closed. Walked in. Is the restaurant on the second floor closed? They were like, no. Went up there, sat right down. No, wait. We got a grit bowl. That grit bowl was so good to my soul. It was so good.
First of all, when I saw that picture on Instagram, I said, that looks very familiar, but I don't know where she is. I did not know. Oh, that was a good idea. That was good.
I'm looking it up right now.
It was a great picture. Yes, it was so delicious. And the reason it was such a genius, I fell into this genius strategy. Look at that. Yes, so good. It was delicious. Look at her, so cute.
That looks so good.
Oh, child, it was so good.
So good.
I could go there today. It was so good. Let me tell you this. Sunday at a hotel. This is what I figured out. Checkout is at 11 for most places. So if people at the hotel are going to eat hotel breakfast, if they have a restaurant, they are checked out by 11. It's on a Sunday. Most people are going home. And if people are checking in, they are checking in at 3 o'clock. So the restaurant from 12 to 3, for sure, it's like so chill.
Yeah.
That it was like the best. Child, it was delicious. Okay.
All right. So did anybody recognize you? Were they like, oh, Miss Melina?
Yes. He called me Courage. It was Nolan.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Our waiter, Nolan. Shout out to Nolan. He's amazing.
He got upset that one day. It was just very.
It was a lot.
Gosh,
yeah.
Bless.
He was our waiter.
Okay.
He was like, oh, yes, I remember you. I was like, good. I hope it's good thoughts. He was like, no, you guys were really nice to me. And I was like, great. Glad to hear it. So he was the same. He was the same guy from before. And yes, he was like, okay, Courage, it's great to see you again. I was like, okay, say my first name. But that's what I love. I love a VIP experience. So that was a VIP experience. It was amazing. I think that's really all I did, right? Because we were in Raleigh this past week. My husband and he was there for work, and I just went over for some bay time, right? And that was really nice. Got back on Friday. Saturday, I was at your party. Yep. Sunday, I went out with my cousin. Yep, that's my weekend.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. I love that you went back there because that food was really good.
That grit bowl was so good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like our weekend was just full of birthday celebration stuff with the kids, but it was nice. Friday, it was pick up the kids, let them go shopping for their birthday gifts, get all the food. And then why do you do this to yourself when you host an event? You try to do all the things before the event, but we hosted it at 2:00 instead of like what we typically have done, like 12. That helped a lot. I think I'm always going to have to do an afternoon, because it just allows you more time to not rush so bad. Mm-hmm. And the way we have our house set up is very nice now. We don't really have to have anybody in our house. So we can do the garage. We can do the back patio. There's a bathroom in the garage. Like, I really like that. So I didn't feel really uptight about like the dining room, because we painted the dining room actually last week. So it's still not put back together yet. And I was like, I don't even feel any type of way about that. I shut the doors. Like, that's the great thing about having doors to rooms. I'm like, just shut the dining room door. Like, it's fine. So it was a good time.
That's a good thing. I'm going to interrupt you really quick. Is that I feel like that is a good thing. That's the pro of like the door closing. I know everybody wants open concept, but you just made me think about it. Like, everybody wants open concept, but that is the pro about having like doors, your stuff indoors.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. Because my goal was that morning, I asked Alan's dad, Pops, if I say Pops, that's who that is. But I was like, will you put the hooks back on the wall so I can put the curtains up, to put all that back up? Because I was like, I think I'm just going to put the room back together if I have time. But then I was like, if I don't, it's cool. Nobody's going to be in this house anyways. In the kitchen, because we set it up in the garage, the kitchen was like a prep kitchen. I was like, this is the joy of having a prep kitchen. Now I really think one day it would be nice to have a prep kitchen. Like, how can we make that happen? Because the kitchen itself was like, everybody was in and out getting stuff, but then taking it outside, right? So I'm like, if it's messy in here, I don't care, because this is not where we're spending the party. But it was a really good celebration. The boys enjoyed it. They were more a part of like what we want to do. Like, what bounce house do you want? What friends do you want to invite? We quickly said no to a lot of people. We're like, no, we're not inviting them. We don't know their parents. They're not coming. So we're very weird about that. So really only friends and family. That's it. And yeah, we're leaving it at that. If we wouldn't want to hang out with them and go like, hey, do y'all want to go grab dinner Friday night? They're not invited to the party. That's the type of parties we have.
So the children are punished if their parents are not cool. That's very basically sad. That's what I heard you say. Your kid can't come to my party. Your kid could be the coolest kid in 15 generations of your family, but you are not our type of people. You're sorry, your kid cannot.
It's not, they're not our type of people. I don't know them. We don't go into
No, you can say that. Listen, I don't apologize for that, because everybody is not our type of people. And that's just the truth. And if you don't like it, then you're probably not listening to this podcast anyway.
First of all, I'm not apologizing.
That's right. That's not listen.
Yeah, no, I didn't say sorry. I'm not sorry.
Good.
I just don't know them. This is the difference too. I feel some type of way when kids do this at school. They come home with an invitation to a party, which I appreciate and love. But we cannot go to all of your parties, and we will not. And the boys are like, can we go? I got invited. And I was like, we're not going. We've only done that one time. And this was a kid that Cruz has literally been in every class with growing up in school. So I'm like, we're going to his party. But other than that, we don't even do that. I really don't like to go to any events.
We know.
Much less a child.
They may not know, but we know.
Yeah.
No, it was a great time. I loved being at your house. I met, I got to sit and enjoy some of my favorite people. Can we segue to that now?
Let's segue.
One of my favorite people. I talked to Olivia on the way. First of all, Amber lives out of town. I don't know if y'all know that. So for me to visit Amber, it's an hour and 10 minutes without traffic. Yeah. So on a Sunday stroll, it's an hour and 10 minutes. So I'm talking to Olivia. Olivia's a great friend, making sure I don't fall asleep on such a long trek out to the woods. And I was like, I was tired. I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually going. I'm leaving my house, because I am the same way. As much as I love Amber, I just thought, I'm not going nowhere. I don't want to go nowhere. That's all I'm saying. But I'm like, I know it's going to be a good time. Two of my favorite people are going to be there. Did I say that, Olivia? Mm-hmm. Olivia said, who are your favorite people? I was like, Dana McNeill and Linda. Them two, as long as they there. I'm like, do you think Linda's going to be there? Olivia's like, I don't know. That's Mark's wife's mom. I don't know if she'll be there because it's a kid party. I'm like, I hope so, because those two women, I know I'm going to have a good time. And so I did have a good time. And so our next guest, our first guest, we've never had a guest, is the Dana McNeill. Y'all give it up for Dana. This is Amber's mama. Okay.
Yes.
We look like twinsies?
They do look like twins. They look just alike. Amber get it from her mama. Her entrepreneurial spirit, she get it from her mama. Her sassy attitude. Just when you look at Amber and you're like, oh, I wonder where she gets that from. I'm gonna tell you right now, good, better, in between. She got it from Dana. Okay. She got it from Dana. Hey, Dana, how are you?
Olivia, I do this every time. Courage.
I know she called me Olivia the other day.
I call her Olivia all the time.
That's hard.
Olivia. That's all we've heard. for 6 years.
Finally, Courage is getting a little bit of play. Finally, I get to be on the roster. Now I got promoted when Olivia left. Some of y'all don't want to play second string, but if you are faithful to second string, that first string is going to be moved out of the way by the mighty hand of God, and you will be promoted. Hallelujah, somebody.
Oh, God.
I received that. All right, so I feel the same way about you, Courage, in that I always look forward to spending some time with you at a party. I know you were live the other day, and I jumped on there and said, okay, glasses, I see you have them on again today. And you said, oh, I'll see you at a party. I thought, people think we really going to some party. It is the grandkids' birthday party. But it is extravagant. It was fabulous. And I can't believe, Amber, that you didn't get footage of it. But I applaud you for being in the moment and not always being on your camera game, because it is important. But yeah, they're going to feel a little slighted when they look back and there's no pictures. So Meemaw should have been taking a few pictures anyway. Maybe somebody.
I took 0. By the way,
I took 0 too, because listen, Courage and I were trying to find the fireplace.
It was so cold.
It got cold outside.
It was cold.
Yeah. Well, okay, y'all make it sound terrible. We have a fire pit outside, so there was warmth in blankets.
Everybody was huddled to it. There was only so much room around the fire pit.
But then I was like,
we just look for a reason to go inside because we're rebels and we don't have to be outside because we're not kids. Outside is what kids. We can go where we want to go.
I finally was like, where are the women at? Where did they go? I walk inside, they're all in the fireplace room, and I was like, do y'all want me to start a fire? They're like, yes.
Courage and Linda and I had our own little dialogue going on.
Yeah, it was very nice. It's very nice. It's always a good time. Always a good time. All right, we got to talk about something, guys. So I love that we're talking about like celebrations and all these things, and realizing now like how important it is for us to put down the camera and not always be on. I feel like that is probably not something we've always been. Like I think that we were kind of camera heavy maybe early on, like get it, you should have it, oh, let's do that again, don't eat your food yet. I think we were kind of heavy on that for a while, but we've grown, and so we've taken some things with us into this year 2022 that we just wanted to be more present and things like that, and I'm glad to hear we're going to continue that into the new year. But I would love to hear what are some of the other things that maybe you're going to be taking into this new year because of something you've learned. Like, you know what I realized this. And so I'm going to be taking this with me in the new year, whether it is related to, life or business or relationships. I'd love to hear that. So the first one we're giving you guys is to put the camera down, content creators. You don't have to document every single solitary moment for the world. Be present. And sometimes being present means there won't be any documentation, but you will have lived that moment. That moment will live in your life, in your heart, in your memory. So that's the first one. What's another one?
My second one will be to not be always thinking in your head, like, what does this person want me to do? I think that last year and even previous years, I'm thinking of the person instead of myself.
What do you mean?
So it hit me this morning. So I'll give you an example. One of my boys has a fever today. One of them does not. And so Al and I were having a discussion as parents. This is a hard decision. Well, do I drive Maddox to school and then come back home and then go back to get Maddox? And Alan's, he was somewhere else. So it just didn't work. So we were trying to make fast plans. And I was like, I don't care what's happening. I have to make a decision for what we have to do as parents, and they're both not going, right? So I was thinking, what's the teacher going to think? Or what's the school going to think? What's happening with his test? And like, you just really get in your head, and those are really important things. You need them to be at school. But that's just one example where I was like, I'm not doing what I think they want me to do. I'm doing what we need to do for us, right? For my sanity, to be honest. And the kids will be okay. Like if they miss a test, I mean, come on, they're in elementary school. It's not going to kill their, school, whatever education of their testing and their numbers and all their stuff. But I just really I think next year I want to be more on top of that because I get very much, and even let me give the studio for an example. Like even all last year, before even Olivia moved, right? We were all in there almost every single day of the week. Maybe one day we would miss it, but we were thinking of each other all the time. Like, well, the girls are going to be in the studio. I'm going to be at the studio. Well, let me change this appointment so I can make sure we can do this as a group, right? All the things, like we always were thinking about one another, but honestly, and we say this, us three together, just talking a lot, is we need to do what's best for us. Like, you know what I mean? And I think next year,
as
I just
individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if your feelings are hurt, I'm sorry. If I disappointed you, I'm sorry. But I had to do what I needed to do. And I think more women have to be aware of that because I think we always put ourselves last as a woman naturally. And we suffer on the back end of it. And it might not hit us that day, but weeks later, we're physically and mentally exhausted because we have not focused on ourselves, you know, and getting caught up where we need to be caught up. So next year, I definitely want that to be more of my focus and vision moving forward.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of you. I think I live in that space a little bit more. Just I don't want to say naturally. I wasn't naturally that way, but I think I've just been through some things and I'm like, I realize how I got to this depressed place. I realize how I got to this exhausted place, this place where I'm like completely overrun and overwhelmed with anxiety. It's because you do that thing all the time. And even when you do it, you've put yourself out and people are not that excited about it. They're not that appreciative of it. They still expect more and more and more. And I think, you know, as I healed from those wounds, I just got to a place where it's like, no, that's not a thing. I actually told Linda this at the party. I was like, let me tell you something, Linda, because she said, do you think it's rude that we're not outside? I'm like, well, I can't speak for you, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm an amazing person and I'm an amazing friend to Amber. And so if I don't want to go outside, I don't have to go outside. And this me not going outside right now is not going to, you know, overshadow all of the greatness that I bring to her life as a friend, because I'm very intentional about being an amazing person. I don't just mean that like inherently. I mean, I'm intentional about being a great person and about being kind to people and about respecting other people and taking other people into consideration. It does not mean I'm not going to choose myself, though. I'm going to choose me because we have a responsibility to our families and things like that. And we have to make sure, like you said, like we're okay. So I am super excited. I'm not going to like it when it means I don't get my way, but I support that you are choosing. I support that you are choosing you. I absolutely freaking love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's good. All right. What about you two? Olivia, Dana? Olivia, go for it.
Okay. I want to touch on one thing that we said earlier, and it was like, courage. This was your first point about not taking the camera and all that kind of stuff. And we were talking about memories. This is the thing about when you don't have like photos and pictures. Like we've been saying this with my friend group because I previously lived where I live at right now. And so we spent a lot of years together before I moved to Charlotte. And then once I was in Charlotte, we still did a bunch of trips. We still hung out. They still came to Charlotte. We still came to Florida to visit them. So we still had all of these memories in between. It wasn't just like cut off. And so whenever we do get together, especially on our, like, we do these couple date nights every month or like twice a month, we might do like an inside thing and then we might do like go out. This is our little adulting money saving idea, is to do one inside date and then one outside date or whatever, right? And so all of us couples, we hang out. And so one of the things that we've been talking about lately is that our memories. So like when we're out hanging out, or we go out to dinner, all we literally talk about are like things we did or all of these memories. So I think a lot of times we think like if we're not capturing the moment, like, oh, we're going to forget. But I feel like you're going to, if you really and truly are having a good time, you're going to remember those times. And it's going to be amazing conversations in the future.
Okay, can I tell you something? I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm going to tell you this because you know I'm like a low-key, a little bit of a nerd. So I did some research recently for a sermon illustration that I did, talking about like, do you remember? And one of the things that they said is that you remember less detail when you take a photo.
Oh.
So like, let's say you're at an art gallery or something like that, and you pull your phone out to take a picture of it. The people who take a picture of it have a harder time remembering what it looked like or what they liked about it than the person who just stood there and took a mental note, because there's something that you are telling your brain, I don't need to remember this. I've already captured it. So then it's harder for your brain to hold on to those things. So you are actually 100% accurate in your, experience and what you said. That's a whole thing. It's like a brain thing. Yep. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I love that. And it makes a ton of sense. When you say it, it makes a ton of sense. And I can definitely relate to that happening in real life. So that's amazing. Okay. So now let's talk about my lesson for the future, or what I'm taking into. And I touched on this last week, but I just want to just say this is a lesson. So last week we were talking about boundaries and things like that, and I was talking about some of the boundaries that I set in my business and business relationships this year, and how they have really been working. And I'm definitely saw this year kind of like, okay, that was a start to the boundaries, but going into next year, tweaking them to make them even more efficient and effective when it comes to like my not getting overwhelmed, not being, too overly worked and things of that nature. So I did really learn this year that, okay, those boundaries are really working for my business relationships, and I'm definitely going to be taking that into next year. So when I say that, if you didn't listen to last week, it's like setting times, setting dates, setting your expectations of how you want people to deliver things to you, how you want them to communicate with you, how you want them, or what they should expect time frame wise when it comes to responses and things of that nature. So I really did work on some of that last year, but I want to, take it to the next level in 2023. So I think that is a great lesson for me, and it's definitely something I'll be taking.
I want to interject. We also said last week with that, like having a link for people to say, like, especially you had a client trying to get a hold of you. Like she had taken a program or whatever, and she's one of our women in our course. And she is tagging Olivia like wildfire all over social media. I'm like, if you do not like get with her, what is happening? And Olivia, anyways, they worked it out. They got together. But I think we talked about last week, you having a calendar link available. And it's like maybe in one of your link trees on your website or something like that. And if they have tagged you, if they have DM'd you, if they have, nobody has Olivia's number, FYI. So don't be texting Colin. She ain't going to give it out. But then click her link and get on her calendar, because you really are in demand for 2 huge magazines, and for your own brand, and for A&O's brand, and for doing Courage in my work. Hello.
And for the church. Come on.
Yeah, and for the church.
Yeah, like, you are really in high demand.
Yeah. So it's not that Olivia is like, I don't want to do it. She would want to do everything. But it's like, if she doesn't, she can't, because then somebody's going to suffer on the other end. She's already working with somebody right now. And then she, you know what I mean? Because if she gets on the phone with you or responds, she feels like she has to drop everything and do that task. And that's just naturally how she works. So she's like, I'm not responding because I cannot respond.
Yeah.
So I think,
and first of all, in that case, it's not, I'm not responding. I don't be over there on that social media network to be doing it. And you could message me some other type of way. And I don't owe you anything. You're just trying to ask me a free question. So that's another thing.
I'm going to jump in on that one. And one of the things that I love about that I did in the last couple of years is develop a great website. And to funnel people in, because I have found it so much easier just in the last few months to not try to answer everybody's questions. Everybody's messaging me, and I'm like, go to my website. Go to my website. You'll find that at my website. Here's a link to my YouTube. You'll find that here's a YouTube video. And just sending them those links rather than me trying to, it's finally come to fruition, Amber. I know you kept saying this is going to be so great for you to be able to provide the information in a video or here or there without taking all of your time. because, I know personally, I am a very gifted and talented woman, as you all are, and I can do multiple things, and I love to do multiple things. Like if somebody said, Dana, could you cut my hair? I'd say, yeah. Now I cannot. I cut my own hair. Don't judge me today because, I'm trying to grow it out. But anyway, I do go to get my hair cut. But if somebody said, Dana, can you tutor my kids? Yes. Dana, can you help me over here at my business? Yes. Dana, can you talk me through this problem? Yes. Dana, can you volunteer here? Yes. Dana, can you talk me through? Yes, because I can. I'm capable. But we find ourselves going in a million different directions rather than focusing in on what we really have set our mind to do and really what we want our focus to be on. So I love that I have tools in place now to where I can still do some of those things if I want to.
Yeah.
But then I just keep focusing people back into what I really do as a coach, and I'm an accountability coach, and I focus on health and wellness. My main focus is on inflammation and insulin resistance and all the health markers and all those things. And so I want people to see me in that light.
That's so good.
And I want them to respect me in that light, but I'm out here doing all these other things sometimes. And so I just trying to keep the visibility on me as a professional sometimes is a big task.
Yeah.
I love that. That's that. Let me just, Dana just dropped some gems. Let me help y'all pick them up in case y'all missed them. I love that you said tools. This is something I was getting ready to tell Olivia. Like I actually created a link for my team, for vendors, because we do a retreat or whatever, but I have a link that is not shared on my website or anywhere, that if somebody needs me from my team, if somebody on my team need to get in touch with me, then y'all can use this link and book, and that's when we can talk, instead of saying, maybe we can meet in the morning, or maybe I need a tool, because I'm always going to say yes. It's my team. It makes it seem like what you need from me is more important than what I've decided I need to be focused on. So that's one thing. Tools, boundaries and things like that don't matter if you don't have the tools to support you. So I love that. The other thing that I love that you said, and I want y'all to hear me out here, is that you're out here doing all these things and helping people in all these spaces, and you're doing things that you no longer want to be known for. You no longer want to do it anymore. But every single time you say yes to it, that's one more person to go out and sing your praises. Because like Dana said, we are capable, we are talented, we are skilled. So if I do something I don't want to do, please understand I'm good at it. Okay? It's not going to be true. I'm good at it. But now you're going to go tell your little friend, oh, well, Olivia was the one who made this graphic for me. Now here come your friend sliding in Olivia DM. And so that's exactly what happens. The more we say yes to things that we can do, but isn't really the direction that we want to go in, we just attract more of that. And then we struggle with like being known for the thing we want to be known for. I want you to come to me for this thing. But every time I say yes to all those other things, it confuses you and other people about what I really do. That's good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay, like boundaries.
That. Well, what are is that what you're taking into next year, Mom, too?
Yeah, just to do that more and to not feel bad. I mean, sometimes I'll feel bad. Like I am a coach. Why am I doing this and this and this? Well, I'm doing this and this and this because I'm not just a coach. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I'm a wife. I'm a friend. I have lots of facets to who I am. And so I want to be able to do all of these things. I say all the time, I have another daughter, Angel, who is an amazing baker.
And is.
Yes. And she has Angel Cakes Bakery, and she is expanding her business. And I started out just kind of helping her as I was growing my coaching business to show her this is how you can promote this better, and and helping her to get organized and all the coach things that I do. But then it was like, I'm her mom. And so it eventually came to, I was washing her dishes. I was running her errands. I was picking the grandkids up from school. I was running to the grocery store to grab something she forgot. Then she was like, I need you to make this, and I need you to do this and box this. And so I got pulled into this world of baking, and I'm like, this is in contradiction to what I do as a coach. Hey, Maddox, baby. I'm always, my big thing is get away from sugar.
By the way, if y'all are listening,
your cake pop.
So, yeah, if y'all are listening, Courage just got her whole bag of a dozen cake pops that I gifted her, and she is now enjoying it on camera as if she is just in her own little world. She just devoured that. I said devoured, but devoured. Yeah. Okay, continue. Yeah, this is a big contradiction to what you say.
So what do you think? Because this is a battle that goes on with me all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm the biggest hypocrite in the world. So I am talking to my clients, no sugar. I mean, that's a big thing. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to bring your A1C down, if you're trying to get your cholesterol and blood pressure, all of those things, get the sugar and the carbs down. And so I am then over at this bakery pumping out the sugar. I feel like a crack dealer,
Well, I want to speak on this. So let me honestly speak on this, because as her daughter, I have some feelings about it. Okay. First of all, I don't care that you coach for health, great, and that you also helped your daughter in the bakery. I am not judging you for that, going, you know what, you know nothing about health because you're in her bakery telling me to buy a cake. No. You know what I mean? My brain does not process that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You help her sell cakes, because I just want you to know I am a type 1 diabetic. I will eat a piece of cake and I will enjoy it. But then on the other hand, I'm like, man, I should lose some weight. Let me learn something about my body on how to do that. I'm still going to ask you questions. So if I was like, you know what I mean? If I was one of your clients doing that, they should not feel anyway. And if they do, they're not really your good client. Like, you honestly need to be like,
I'll tell you that there is a time and place for eating a piece of cake or a cake pop.
Or popcorn.
But when you are in trouble, when you're in trouble with your health, that's a whole different place. That's a whole different space. And it's like, okay, no cake, no sugar, no, this is it. And it has to be hard. And, that's where somebody really needs a coach, because it is hard when you're so addicted to sugar. Did y'all realize that sugar is as addictive as heroin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so there is an addictive force that has to be broken. And that is where I come in as a coach. But here at the same time, and let me just say, I don't promote Angel's Cakes on my, social media sites. I'm really try to create some boundaries right there. I will. Now, when she does her chocolate pies, I'm like, girl, I'm going to put your chocolate pies out there, because I'm going to tell my clients, if I'm ever going to splurge on something, that's going to be the thing. I can't resist. But the cake pops, I didn't have a cake pop. It's all good.
It's delicious.
I know that.
I think this thing.
That
cake pop is genius when it comes to cake pops.
Yeah, because I'm not a huge fan of cake pops in general. They're either too dry or too like gooey. That was like cake. It was like you think it should be, but it's not how they be. They be dry or they be gooey. Ugh, that was freaking delicious. I think this is our problem, just as a society. I know we're kind of like getting off on a tangent here, but I'm just telling you this. We think that fair is like everybody get the same thing, or everybody can do the same thing. No, that's not how this world works. We're not the same. We might be similar. We might both be health conscious, but we're not the same. So I can have a slice of cake. You can't. And that is not me being mean to you. That is just saying this is what it is. But some people have come to a place in their journey, their health journey, where now they can invite it back in, because they're not going to fall off the wagon.
Right.
Because they're not going to do too
have
much.
A social drink, and some people cannot.
Yes.
Right.
And that's just that is just what it is. That's it. Yeah. I love that you're going to be doing that this coming year, just being more mindful of like spending your time and your energy in the space that you want to focus on. I think that's really the only way we see real consistent growth when we have our eye on the prize. And I think that's going to take, probably some tools and things too. I love a physical planner, so that when people ask me, can I do something? This is how I started, because now I don't need it, because I just say no all the time now. But when I first started, I'd be like, you know what? Let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you. And that just gave me enough time to
freedom,
really think. Let me think, is this something I really want to do? Do I really have the time to do this? That way I can come to a quick answer and give them a quick yes or a quick no. But it just gave me a second to not be sitting there looking in my face, trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to come up with an excuse. I just need to process whether or not this is in alignment with the goals.
Listen, that's a great tool to have in your toolbox anyway, is just to have that count to 5.
Yeah.
When somebody asks you something, or you are faced with making any kind of decision, it might even be picking up a certain kind of food at a party. It might be saying yes or no to something someone's asking you to do, but it just, and having that tool of, let me check my calendar, in that case is perfect. But sometimes we just need to say, let me count to 5 a minute. Let me just pause and let this kind of process just a second, instead of being so reactive, because we are very reactive. And some of us are prone to just say no immediately, and some are prone to say yes. So of you, I could just about say who would say yes and who would say no if I ask them to do anything. But, I know I have a sister who, she's going to say no. I don't care what it is. It's going to be no. Now, she might turn around in an hour and say yes, but immediately she's going to say no. It annoys the crap out of me. I'm like, can you not just say yes sometimes? But it's like, nope, not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then
so let's talk on this.
Yes, they're going to say yes, and then they don't follow through, and then that's annoying too.
Yeah, let's really speak on this, because I feel like what we're talking about now is how we should react to the person asking. And Courage, you have done this for years. You have said, let me check my calendar, which I think is genius, to be honest. But at first I'm like, that's so aggravating, right? Because I know you know the answer in your head right now. But as a person, and I really want other women to start taking on this same type of role. When you ask someone something, don't expect the answer right then. I have noticed more recently in the last several months that when I ask anything, if it's of a family member or a friend or something work related, and y'all can vouch for me, but I feel like I'm like, I want to ask you this, but you can call me back later. You can text me, just think on it for a second and then just let me know. And I feel like I always say that because I want to give that person permission to not give me a reaction right then, because I'm like, honestly, like, will you watch the kids? Well, think on that and then let me know. Like, y'all figure it out. Hey, can you make me some type of graphic? Can you help me? What time are you available? Just text me and then I'll make it work. Like, I just think that's respectful as a person coming to you, especially as an entrepreneur. Don't you feel like sometimes you kind of get like, you're available. You don't have to go into, the brick and mortar building today. You're good, right? You're at the house working. So you can go, you can help me anytime. That's not how that works either. So be respectful when you do go to somebody to ask. And at the same time, understand when they tell you, I'm going to give you an answer later. Don't have your feelings hurt over that,
No, I like that. I think that's a good idea. I think adjusting our expectations when we are making a request, because I think you could probably get more yeses if you could get more genuine, heartfelt yeses if you gave people the time. I think that we are, we can be relatively demanding when asking somebody to do something. And it's because it's an actual need. We need it. It's important, right? And we are only thinking of ourselves in that moment if we're honest. But let that be a lesson about your time management, right? Like, if you don't have time for people to give you time to give you an answer, then that's a you problem. Now, everybody's got an emergency every once in a while. This happened. The babysitter canceled last minute. Now I need help. That makes complete sense. But if every request that you have is urgent and you can't give anybody some time, it's because you are not managing yourself.
Yeah.
And you need to focus on that first. So then you can say, okay, I know I'm going to need this in a week or 2 weeks. Let me go ahead and get on the phone with Amber. Let me go ahead and get on the phone with Dana and say, hey, Dana, I'm going to be doing this thing in 3 weeks. I was calling to see if you'd be able to do it. It's at this day, and have the details. That's another thing. You have some cockamamie idea you done cooked up in your little brain. You didn't even have the details. You know what, Dana? I'm going to do this thing. It's going to be so good. What is it going to be? Well, I don't know, but I just need to know that I can count on you. Well, how can you count on me when you don't have the details?
Listen, that's what happens, I think, with a lot of people who start as an entrepreneur, who start something new and they present it to their friends and family. And they're like,
yes,
you come up with a new idea every day, you know?
Yeah.
And they're not taken seriously because they don't think things through. They don't really make the full commitment to follow through long term. And people know that. And so if that is, if that speaks to somebody out there, I know that we've all experienced that. Maybe it was us at one point in time, and we've grown into something different. I know for me, I never wanted to be seen as that person that it's like, oh, this is just some new trend she's on. Although, I'm a 61-year-old woman. So I have gone through a lot of phases in my life, and I have gone through different experiences, and yes, closed that chapter, started a new one. And, I would always think, oh gosh, nobody's going to take me seriously because I've done this and this and this and this. But when I make a commitment, I follow through. I take it very seriously. I stick to it. I'm very tenacious. And so,
yes, you are.
And that's important. If you're looking for someone to take you seriously about something and you're not that way, and you're just, like you said, just a fly by the seat of your pants kind of person that, oh, I got this great idea. Let's go with it. Can I count on you? Will you support me? And they're like, I don't know about that because,
might be something else next week.
What?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know about that because it might be something else next week. That is funny. I want to say that to a lot of people who market on social media.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of times people don't take them seriously. Like, oh, whatever I'm selling isn't selling. Well, if you're selling something every week, different, like every couple of months, you on a different, you have a different product plan. A different, not just like, oh, I have this type of business and I launch different products. No, you are on a whole different industry.
Yeah.
That is a red flag that people don't want it. It's hard to support that because it's like, oh, she's just doing the next thing. That's smoking. So be careful of that, people.
For sure. Well, guys, this has been a really good conversation. Olivia or Courage might have something else before we wrap up. Do y'all?
I just want to say this is our last conversation for the year.
Yes. Dana helping us close it out.
Thank you to all of you for having me on for your last conversation of the year and your very first guest. And I feel very, very privileged and honored. And
I'd like to say Dana was my idea, not Amber's. Okay, just for the record, there's no nepotism going on here. I was like, you should probably be on podcast. You funny child. Dana is amazing. Y'all make sure y'all check the show notes and things so you can connect with Dana. I hope that you guys are taking some time to maybe re-listen to some of these episodes and implement something. We always want you to have a good time, but a good time is not going to get you to where you are trying to go. Like, that's just not it. So learn from us, implement some things, and let us know what y'all are doing. Let us know, like, hey, I tried this, it actually worked. Or I tried this, y'all are dumb, it didn't work. You can let us know that too. We're probably gonna block you, but you can still let us know. And don't forget, it's my birthday month, even though we won't be back. I don't know why I'm singing. I'm acting like Amber and Olivia. It's my birthday month. My birthday is December 23rd. Be sure to shout me out on social media. You can shout me out any day that you want. Actually, don't have to actually be on my birthday. You can be like, Courage, happy birthday. And I'll be excited to get it from you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good time. Well, this was a great conversation, you guys. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating on the podcast platform that you're listening to right now. If you're listening to us on YouTube and you're actually seeing us, well, we're excited that you get to see us. Make sure you do subscribe to My CEO Squad on YouTube. And again, yes, check out the show notes. Go to danamcneil.com, connect with her, and you can also search. I would just search Dana McNeill all over Google, her website, Instagram, all that, but call Coach Dana. So thank you, Mama, for being here. You're an amazing entrepreneur, businesswoman, mom, grandmother, all the things.
Thank your mom for making you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Mom, for making me, for birthing me, for giving my attitude. Thank you for giving me my first piece of like, get you into this business. She's like, I bought your starter kit for your business when you were 18. First, I was 19. And then I was like, girl, stop. She's like, I'm introduced you in Olivia. I'm like, oh my gosh. She did.
She did.
Well, Vito called Mom, Mr. Vito. Okay. He called Mom. And then Mom's like, I'm not going to this bridal shop. Call my daughter. And so he called me. So Mom's like, if it wasn't for me, you would never know Olivia.
Where's the lie? Dana, try to put some respect on your name.
Put some respect on my name.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. That's all I got to say to you.
Yeah, so super cool. But this is amazing. And I don't know where the podcast is going to go next year. If we are going to continue having guests, it's probably going to not just be anybody. So, but we are appreciative of having a first guest, and we'll see if we ever have a second. Who knows? But if you want to,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah, that's right. This was a good time.
All right. Love y'all. Later.
Bye.